My name is Brian Pillman Jr., and you're watching the Rasslin Rage YouTube show.
Derek Wolf here, the most successful person in the Independence Pro Wrestling locker room, and your Michiana champion. And you're watching Rasslin Rage.
Oh!
This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? Welcome to Rasslin Rage. I guess you could call it MI-Dub too, because we're kind of both the same. This is the interview portion of the YouTube channel. This is where I do interviews. Sometimes Josh and Dan join me. It just depends. But tonight, I am flying solo, and I am joined by a man that is not a stranger on Rasslin Rage, somebody that's been on here for a few times now. He's been here in Michigan as well as down in Florida a few times. We've had him on. He was on a few months ago. Well, it was probably about 5-6 months ago, I guess, right? I mean,
almost a year now, bro.
Yeah, almost a year. My time is flying by. So, you know, before I say anything else, make sure you go down in the description. He does have a Facebook page right now that's where he is taking most of the bookings and things like that. If there's anything coming his way, you want to contact him on that. If you want to follow and know where he's going to be located, like, for instance, FU3, F it all, in, where is it at? What city?
I believe it's Garden City.
Garden City at the Renegade Bar. That's it. All right. Yeah. So, and you're taking on one Adam fucking Wick. So, welcome back to the show, first of all.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, for sure, man. It's been a minute. We ran into each other a couple times outside of, the wrestling world. But, you have, last time you were on, there was a lot of things to talk about. And, and you pretty much said, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I've had it. And here you are. Did you get the bug or what's happening? You're coming back. We know that. The big announcement, it's already been made. You're having a match. So what's up?
Yeah, no, the bug definitely hit me hard.
Okay.
Like you said, was doing the stepped aside and did the dad thing for the last year.
Absolutely,
and I really
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that, man. Got to spend a lot of time with my son and my daughter. But you still it's crazy, man. Like, even though you're not on the internet, like, you still hear and see everything that goes on through people and everything. And just like there's guys out there that I still haven't locked up with. So that's the dream I'm chasing, is those matches I feel like could be 5 stars that I've never had. You know what I'm saying? The Adam Wicks, the Tommy Vendettas, and everything.
Oh, yeah. I know you were itching to get a piece of Tommy Vendetta the last time we talked, and you were talking, I want to get in the ring with that guy. I mean, obviously, now that you're coming back, that definitely is very possible, right?
Yeah, I hope so, man. You know what I'm saying? I'd never one of the guys I want to be booking a show. I don't want to do anything like that, but you know what I'm saying? If I could book a show, I definitely would book me versus Tommy. So
right, yeah. Well, and now, I don't know. I don't think we've ever had this conversation personally, but Deathmatch Wrestling is getting really big here in the state. I mean, it's getting big everywhere, really. But there's one promotion specifically that deals with deathmatch wrestling more so than any, but F5 as well has some deathmatch in there from time to time. And Tommy Vendetta, he expressed his interest in deathmatch wrestling here on Rasslin Rage, and then somehow, some way, and I'm not saying Rasslin Rage had to happen, but it just kind of like somebody heard, and the next thing you know, Tommy Vendetta was doing deathmatch wrestling. Is that something that you're interested in? I mean, because obviously, if you wanted to go against Tommy Vendetta, would that be something that you would agree to?
I mean, if that's the way I had to fight Tommy, then yeah, I do understand he's becoming like Michigan's, or he's attempting to become Michigan's king of death matches at least. Like I don't really know how those rank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know who's the baddest of the baddest in that. I did go to the Horror Slam show in November, and I believe it was him and Murdoch. And the stuff these guys are willing to do is stuff that I feel like in the right moment I'd be willing to do to an opponent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to make it further in the business type thing. But it was like it was one of those things that when like you grow up, you're watching, like when I was growing up watching it, it was stuff that you had to like buy a VHS from like FYE
Right.
type thing. And that's the only way you were like getting shown it, you know. And then even then, all the death matches were in Japan or Mexico, so it wasn't like you were just seeing it like that. But like some of those guys, they're just, you know what I'm saying, they're built differently, man. They're just, their whole mindset and what they do is they just you gotta be wired differently up top to be doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
Literally, the match started off with like each guy just smashing each other in the head with a light bulb, and it's just like, okay, so now 20 more minutes of wrestling, you know what I mean? But it's just like, it's
Tommy Vendetta is one of those guys where he's not wired right. We know that. I mean, it just, if you see the shit that he does, he's just not wired right. But you have a match with Adam fucking Wick, right?
Yeah.
Over here is now you two have never faced off against each other. Dude, I would have thought that you two had a match, but apparently not. That's not the truth, huh?
no, I don't. I mean, unless we like tag together or something like that, I'm just forgetting about it.
Mhm.
Pretty sure like we've never wrestled each other. I was on my way out of Michigan when he was like making his way into like the scene really in Michigan. Like it's funny because the person Adam is now, like he's like unrecognizable to me, which isn't a bad thing. It's just that like I know Adam when he was showing up, he had like these thick black glasses and he looked like he worked at like the cell phone kiosk in your mall or something like that. He was a real nice put together kid, and now he's just running around and cut off sleeve shirts and super kicks left and right, and like he's establishing himself. But it's just it's one of those things that it just never happened. So it was wild when FU announced that that'd be my first opponent. So
yeah, for sure. You know, and FU, you know, those of you out there that may not be familiar with For Us Wrestling, that's what it stands for, is For Us Wrestling. How they do this is they obtain money from sponsorships and the ticket sales, and all 100% of that money goes to pay the boys or girls or whoever, right, that is wrestling on that show. So, you know, like Josh, Happy Harper Ice Cream, proud owner there, the ice cream man, very well known in the state for his ice cream. He is a sponsor. Michigan Independent Weekly and Rasslin Rage is also a sponsor of For Us Wrestling. And, you know, what better way to give back to the business rather by sponsoring a organization that takes all that money that they get from sponsorship and pays their talent, right? Can't ask for more than that, really, you know?
not really.
I mean, there's been some rumblings, shall we say, across the Great Lakes state of some promotions not paying people, and it's getting around. But, you know, at that point, isn't that kind of becomes like a you thing, right? Like if you're allowing them not to pay you, then you shouldn't go back, right? I mean,
it's definitely a you thing. It's
right.
like, because I mean, there's the pay thing is, it's never been a concrete, you know what I'm saying? There's never, we're independent contractors, why it's independent wrestling type
Right.
deal. So like basically it's word of mouth. And if nothing's ever said, then you can't just, I've learned personally, you can't just assume the other person is going to understand what you want, understand what you feel you're valued at if there's never a conversation about it. But like at the same time, a lot of these guys come from a different era, a different time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless I told you I was giving you money, you weren't getting no money. You were, you know what I'm saying? You were getting footage because everybody was trying to get to the next step anyways. And the footage was your pay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you remember Rich Rhodey, but when he broke me in the business, he told me a story about like how he literally got $2, two single-dollar bills in an envelope one day at the end of the show. Like that's what the promoter felt he was worth. And so he just gave it right back. Like, look, man, I appreciate it, but no, thank you. And he just never went back. But like, it's sometimes like getting paid could be even more offensive than not getting paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can hear that. That's definitely could be a thing. Now, this event that you are part of, it's a collaboration, shall we say? Because not only is For Us Wrestling part of this, it's also F5 Wrestling. A lot of Fs, by the way. You got F5, FU, FU3, fuck it all, a lot of Fs anyways, F it all, and it's a thing. However, F5 Wrestling, one of our sponsors, by the way, they sponsor Rasslin Rage, F5, and I've done some ring announcing for them in the past when their very first event, by the way. So lots of promotions in the state. Now, when you left and went down to Florida there for a while, you were down there for quite a few years, and then there was, the mainstay guys, and then you come back and there's a few more promotions added in there. Have you had any? Obviously, you haven't been wrestling since you got back, but have you seen or talked to any of these promotions about working?
I've seen more than I've talked to at the time. I'm still choosing to stay away from the internet. Like, there's just things in life that you got to admit that you're not good at, and I'm not good at translating what goes on the internet. Like, I can use the Google search type thing, but like as far as the conversations and whatnot, like I don't want no part of it no more. It's just more so like it's easy for me to be anybody I want to be on the internet, which is why I'm choosing to go by my name. You know what I'm saying? Because like Mark Ross is gonna be Mark Ross, whether I'm on the internet, whether I'm in the wrestling ring, or whether I'm working my night shift at Walmart. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Because when you start to cross over and stuff like that, people don't want to follow up with who they build themselves to be. They go into a different world and stuff. So, but I know that there is like a couple different promotions. Like I know Mike Z's running a promotion now, or at least booking. I'm not sure if he's a full runner, but at least booking for a promotion. I want to get out there. I heard UWE still going. Like there's some places that I need to. I got people who work on my page for me. So like there is some people that I want them to contact and start making the steps, because like I said, there's a lot of good wrestlers in Michigan right now.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Well, you were talking about Mark Ross, right? You are Mark Ross. Okay. Now, when I first met you, you were Keith Sweat. And then you were Cyrus Sateen, right? And you were Cyrus for a while, Akabra. And now I wouldn't say switch, because you always were Mark Ross, but now you're using your birth name. Okay. Can you give us a little insight on what is the premise of that and why you're doing that?
Why I'm going by my name?
Yeah, for sure.
It's just, like I said, it's one of those things where like when COVID first took off, like I sat down and I evaluated like what I had done with Cyrus Sateen since Johnny Devine started calling me that to where I had got at the beginning of COVID. And I felt like for all the effort that I put in to get to like the next step, I feel like people knew me better as Mark Ross than as they did Cyrus Sateen. Like people knew that Mark Ross moved from Michigan to Florida to better himself in wrestling. People knew that Mark Ross was skipping bookings or not taking bookings to go set up shows and record shows and, help out with production and do all this other kind of stuff to further himself in wrestling. And I feel like my story in wrestling is more so as Mark Ross than as any kind of character. And then when COVID really took off and like wrestling shut down and there was no wrestling, then like it became one of those things where like Cyrus Sateen really didn't matter. Like what his story was, what he was doing, like none of that stuff mattered because there was nowhere to wrestle at anyways. But what did matter was Mark Ross, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Mark Ross had spent so many years focused on wrestling that I kind of put myself in a bad place as a real person to like keep furthering myself. Like I didn't have the connections to get another job immediately. I didn't have the connections, like I don't have like I really just learned what like an IRA and a 401k was like last year, you know what I'm saying? Because like growing up and then jumping into the wrestling business and spending all the time doing that, I didn't further myself as an adult to position myself to be able to take care of myself. So like it was time to start working on Mark Ross. It was really time to start putting in that effort on who I was, which is, like I said, why I took the year off to spend time with my kids, to remember why I got into wrestling in the first place, you know what I'm saying, to better myself and put myself in a better position for them. I was gone for a long time, so I missed a lot of stuff. I missed holidays, I missed birthdays. So it's like last year, it was really just about building Mark Ross up again. And I feel like that story is greater than any story that I can try to make up and be like, well, yep, you know what I'm saying, I'm Cyrus Sateen, the guy that walked out the water and now all of a sudden can wrestle. Like it's like Cyrus sateen was great. It was a fun time, but I feel like it's a great time to be Mark Ross too. And to be honest, like when wrestling first started, all of that was for anonymity. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like Hulk Hogan was a character and Terry, however you pronounce his last name, was the person. But like there really is no anonymity no more. You know what I mean? Like The Rock is Dwayne Johnson to the, you know what I'm saying, this generation. He's not, he's The Rock to us, but he's Dwayne Johnson to them because they have him on social media and all this other kind of stuff. They have instant access to him. So I could be Cyrus sateen for 15 minutes, but when you go back out there and you look me up on Facebook and you see Mark Ross anyways, most of these people know me as Mark Ross. You catch me at Walmart, you know what I'm saying, there's Cyrus sateen, but my tag says Mark Ross, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it was just one of those things where I didn't feel the need to try to blend that line anymore. I feel like there's a stronger connection between me and the people who really care about me just by just keeping it 100 with them.
And that's a fact, Jack. I mean, I can't disagree with that at all. Really, I can't. And I don't know if you know this, and you may, but it is on record that Josh Harper has stated that you are in fact his favorite wrestler.
No, I know that. Believe me, like, so Josh is one of those guys, like, I get to see Josh I just switched shifts, but for a while I was working the day shift at Walmart. And so I would see Josh in there every once in a while. And every time I seen him, he was just like, hey man, let me know the moment you say you're back, I'm there type thing, which is what I mean. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he wasn't saying that he needed to see Keith Sweat, didn't want to see Cyrus sateen. He just wanted to see me again. And it's one of those things where it's like, all right, man, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Even as much as we love Cactus Jack and Mankind and Dude Love, as brief as he was there, like people didn't care when he called himself Mick Foley, you know what I'm saying? Because he still went there and just did him.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things, a funny story since we're here, you know, because that's wrestling's full of fun stories, right? You were in a match against one weaponized Alex Weir for the what's that Rising Star title. And Josh, I remember this so specifically, okay? So we're all front row, but he's on the other side. And Josh had signs that said, because at the time you were going by Cyrus, if Cyrus doesn't win, we riot. And he brought a bunch of them and spread them out throughout the whole place. And you did win. And that was pretty awesome, man. Now, to be a part of, having, how do I say this? Knowing you, I wasn't there at the very beginning of your career, but I was there through a lot, like watching you guys train and things like that, and then seeing you guys go on and do things, man. It's so awesome just to watch you guys, and be like, dude, I know that guy. Not in the sense of like, oh, I'm better than anybody else, but dude, no, I know that guy. I watched that guy start out. I remember when you guys were training at the Dojang and you're coming out and drinking coffee and then going getting in the damn ring again. Like what that something ain't right with you.
Coffee all day, man. No, bro. I mean, we would train in the mornings and then do an hour of Krav Maga with Mr. Weir and go back and train again. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the crazy thing about that Alex match, man, that's almost 4 years old now. That'll be 4 years old in May.
We'll still remember it.
Yeah, bro. Like that time goes by fast.
Yeah, it does go by, but at the same time, there's knowledge gained. There's time gained because let's be honest, time is the most rarest commodity there is because you never get it back, right? Yeah. You never get it back, and but those things are documented because I know I was there and I took some video, and it's up there somewhere on the Rasslin Rage channel. You go look.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching it at least once a month. I'll pop up something old. Just have to watch it. Me and Alex, or me, Billy Ray and Alex.
Yeah, good old BRD.
Me, Nolan.
Yeah,
I think it was me, Nolan, Alex, and Blake, or Billy Ray. One of the there's a bunch of good stuff on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good old stuff on there from back in the day. I do hope that Blue Water does come back. I mean, I've heard rumblings, but it's kind of up in the air. We don't know what's happening, and there's talk. So, but we do hope that it does come back. Now, I know that you have been one of those folks that were in XICW. You are a Proving Ground Wrestling with a Vet winner. Is that a place that you're looking to get back to?
it is a place that I'm looking to get back to. It's just because I made the choice to step away. I kind of have to just accept right now that I'm kind of like on a waiting list. You know what I'm saying? XICW is in high demand. They were one of the first people I contacted. It's just their shows are booked up right now. Like I still intend on going on the 5th. You know what I'm saying? Doing what I've always done, setting up and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just they got a lot of good talent. They got, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm runs a great show and everything. And so just if I get that call, I definitely would be there. And if not, then I'll support them, you know what I'm saying, from the fans. But like,
yeah. Well,
XICW, I also want to try to get back into Bubba's place, Metro.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when you left, you know, we talk about you were wrestling with a vet champion. You won the wrestling with a vet. And wrestling with a vet or proving ground took place at Hot Rocks. And the Hot Rocks no longer exists. They knocked that motherfucker down. All right. So, you know, like you, whether you like it or not, you are part of wrestling history in the state of Michigan, because Hot Rocks in itself is part of Michigan wrestling history, right? And then you, as being a wrestling with a vet member, champion, and then competing in the Hot Rocks, you are part of that history as well. Did that building hold any? Because, you know, some people get sentimental on things, but does that building hold any sentimental value to you?
Oh, bro, yeah, definitely. It was like one of the places where, like, when you got there, like you were just it was very comforting. It was so intimate because of how like small and how close things were, but at the same time it was like super big. Like you can lose yourself like in like different areas of the building. But it was also like I walked into XICW as Keith Sweat, and I walked out as Cyrus sateen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I walked out as Dapper Bro Cyrus sateen.
Right.
Like it was literally 2 straight years. You know what I'm saying? Back to back the championship. Didn't win the first year, won the second year. And like the maturation from like a guy who wanted to prove himself to like the apprentice of Johnny Devine, to like instantly within the next month. I'm pretty sure I was the second to last pick for that second season. Like it wasn't even like, even though I had made it to the finals, I didn't win. Like nobody still like really rocked with me or believed in me that kind of way. So where like all of a sudden it was me, Ridiculoso, and Louis, and we weren't favored to win anything. You know what I'm saying? Then to run the whole thing. And to be honest, throughout that season, like I wanted to quit before I moved to Florida, because I was having like a little bit of mental issues and some family stuff. Louis wanted to quit for the same reasons, and we both intended on moving out of the state. And Ridiculoso talked us into at least finishing the season, and then we ended up winning. You know what I'm saying? And it was literally we won because Ridiculoso taught us how to seek the approval of the fans through being yourself for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like don't go out there and don't go out there and do what you think that you have to do for them. Go out there and do what you want to do for them, and do it to your 100%, and they'll appreciate that. Right. So yeah, well, no, it definitely. And not just that, like DBA has always been somebody who kept it super, super real with me. So like when I lost the first season, he told me straight up, he pulled me aside afterwards. He goes, I don't know what, I don't know what you're doing. He goes, I don't know where your mind is. He goes, but you lost today because you weren't how you were the whole season. He goes, literally everything I've seen all season long, he goes, it went right out the window today. He goes, there's no way I could call you a winner after today. And he kept it very real. Like he wasn't rude or brash about it, but he was just like, you got whatever if you want this, you know what I'm saying? You got to be the same way every single time. So it was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I'll try it again. Then I come back next season.
Yeah, and then you won. So that's good. Maybe you needed to hear that, right? Sometimes,
no, definitely.
Yeah, sometimes you need to hear the shit nobody wants to tell you. It sucks, but it is what it is. Sometimes it gets you to the right place. You have to go through those things to get to other places. We've all been there, right? XICW, DBA. So everybody knows that's my spot, and you know where I'll be. I'll be there on the 5th. I already got my ticket. I had tickets before tickets were even available. Let's just put it that way, right? They say they're having an event, and I just start sending them money, and they just know it's me. They don't even bother anymore. It's just the way it is, Or I'll message Nicole and be like, hey, where's my how much money have I given you so far? Where am I at? But I love XICW and I love DBA because DBA, a lot of in this business and everybody that's in this business, you need someone to guide you sometimes, right? You need people to set you straight. You need people to give you advice and say, hey, look, this worked, this didn't work, do this, do that, right? In DBA, you yourself have been one of those people for me. I told this story the other night, when you were hurt and came into town and you were supposed to face Brian Pillman Jr., if I'm not mistaken, or no, MM3 or something like that. I can't remember. But anyways, you were in town. We went to the bar after, and you didn't drink, right? You were just hanging out, eating and what have you. And we were just having this conversation. You were down in Florida at the time when you were up here for a show. And you gave me some perspective on things. And like you were talking about with Wrestling with a Vet, how you were ready to quit. I was ready to throw in the towel with Rasslin Rage and MI-Dub. I was, at that time there was no MI-Dub, but I was ready. I was getting tired of the bullshit, dealing with people and just getting screwed over and people no-showing me and things like that. And you told me that don't do it for yourself, do it for everybody else. And that was something that stuck with me. And then here we are today, still rolling 4 or 5 years later, still doing Rage and still doing MI-Dub. But DBA is one of those people as well that has been because when you're the top dog, and I'm going to go on record and say it, and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. When you are the top dog in the podcast world here in wrestling for Michigan, that would be me. That would be Rasslin Rage, and that would be MI-Dub. And yeah, I said it, okay? However, but when you are us, people, when you're at the top, people want to knock you off the mountain, right? So all the time, people are trying to knock us down, and I react. And that's part of my problem. I react, right? I instead of shutting up and listening, I react.
Yeah, we both are guilty of that, man.
Well, and it's DBA, right? It's DBA that he says, you just keep doing what you're doing. If I listened to half the shit people told me through the 21 fucking years of XICW wouldn't be here. And so I respect that man for him to be able to just reach out to me, just man to man, and say, fuck them people. That's what it comes down to, bro. It's like, shoot, if you had 2 people that watched you for 20 years straight, those are the only 2 people, you know what I'm saying, but they enjoyed it, you know what I'm saying, then you did what you were supposed to do, especially if you wanted to do it. Like, if you could always stop. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to do this interview today. You don't have to do a video tomorrow. But if you want to do it and just 2 people watch you, you know what I'm saying, and then it's just as great as 100 people watching you and only 2 people paying attention. Yeah. So that's the kind of mindset that like I had to like remember to be in. Because like that's the point where I got to, where I felt like I was wrestling for 100 people and 1 person was watching me, and that wasn't good enough. But it is, because there's still some people, you know what I'm saying, wrestling and nobody's watching them. Right. So if that's 1 more person than the next man, then at least it's 1 person. Right. Well, and to get that connection with the 1 person, and then like say they know you're at a show in Port Huron, and then they show up in Port Huron, and then they say that they know you're in a show in Detroit, and they show up in Detroit, and that one person may bring 2 or 3 people, and that's 3 or 4 ticket sales right there, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, at the end of the day, the connections that you're creating, whether it be 1 or 2, are far worth it rather than just doing nothing for no reason at all, just becoming a puppet, right?
Yeah, really. At the end of the day, we got to remember that we do it for the business of wrestling. Like I'm not looking to be like any promotions. I'm not looking to be any promotions like face or like a champion. I don't need contracts for it. Like I said, I learned what a 401k is. I got a couple thousand saved up right now. You know what I'm saying? That's after the first year, so I'm looking forward to building that.
Got me a 401k.
But like, yeah, bro, putting on a T-shirt and everything, Mr. 401k. Like the thing is now, like what I need from it personally is I need to be punched in the face. I need that balance of doing what I have to do to doing what I want to do. So I need to be punched in the face. And so what do I need to do to get punched in the face? I need to wrestle the best wrestlers in Michigan. I need to boost wrestling in a whole. Like I don't need to boost myself. I don't need to boost the character. I just need to boost wrestling in a whole. And that's where I feel like wrestling people like Adam, wrestling people like Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Even going rounds and rounds again with like people like Blake or people like Alex. Like Alex has matured. I seen Alex in Horror Slam in November, dude. Like guy, you know what I'm saying? Master belt and everything. Like the guy is killing it.
Yeah.
So he hung in with I think it was Jason. What's his name? Jason Page or Jason Hutch? He goes by
Hotch.
Jason Hotch. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hell of a match. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this is a guy that's on TV wrestling against a guy that I trained with. So
yeah, for sure.
It's just making sure that these guys get those steps and get to where they want to be at.
So now you are, you're returning. You got your first booking with FU, and obviously there's a plan to reach out and get booked at other places and do the thing, right? And what is there anything else that you're looking to do? Is it just besides professional wrestling aside, right? Obviously we know the goal is to go out and wrestle. We know that, right? But in life in general, wrestling, whatever, is there things that you're looking to do?
Oh shoot! Like to be honest, bro, like this last year, I just kept it real. I got back to like the basics of like who I am and what do I like. Like I've been collecting Pokemon cards and playing video games with my son and everything. So like I know he's really big into wanting to like create a gaming channel and everything like that. He wants to start streaming, but I'm trying to get him to understand the responsibility of what that really means. That it's not just as easy as having fun and just popping it. Like it can be, but like for the guys that he watches and the guys that he like looks up to, I let them know like this is like a job for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they say they're gonna play this game for this many hours, this many times a week. Then they edit the videos. Plus they got a camera where they're walking around the store and they're consistently like I'm trying to get him in that mindset of like if this is what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Then let's do it. Like I have no problem doing that with you, but it can't be a like last week he told me he wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, or a couple weeks ago he wanted to be a farmer, and the week before that he wanted to be a scientist ninja. You know what I'm saying? Like like it's just he basically just the occupation changes every day to where it's like, all right, let's just rock it out, dude. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the thing I'm trying to do the most right now is just enjoy the life and like build for later. Because I feel like I went so hard for a while that I'm kind of just trying to take it easy and still take steps, still try to progress in life. Yeah. But like I'm not trying to get to the finish line tomorrow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Well, I see you're wearing a hat, but I see some what is that, green under there? Under your hat.
Oh, the hat.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're still dyeing the hair. Still dyeing the hair.
So we got matching haircuts at picture day time. So that's where the most of the hair is gone. And so for a while there, like I was afraid to dye my scalp. So I didn't do it for a while. It was just regular, but I was finally like, yeah, if I'm getting back into wrestling, ain't no way I'm about to walk out there looking like everybody else. So
right. Finally, somebody that gets it.
Yeah, I let him pick the color and everything, and
that's awesome.
I thought about dyeing the beard, but like I said, I'm afraid to get the dye on the face, and then it just be sitting there and I look stupid. So
yeah. No, you might want to go see a pro for that, man, and then that costs money, and then
yeah. I've only had one person ever dye my hair, and she's not around no more, so I just do it myself. Though, in all honesty, I just throw the whole thing on there and just let it go.
Hey, it's all good in the hood. I'm sure them kids over there at that school over there on the pier, they do it.
Oh, Paul Mitchell?
Yeah,
Probably.
That's it.
Not sponsored, Paul Mitchell?
Yeah.
You know you gotta say not sponsored whenever you say anything that's like trademarked now or copyright, and you gotta say not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored. Not sponsored. Well, I'm just waiting to eventually get a cease and desist from somebody from somewhere. Who knows, man?
Bro, I'm to the point where like it's like cease and desist me. I dare you. That's just gonna give me the recognition I need.
Yeah, I'm framing it, putting it on the wall. Matter of fact, I'll show it in the fucking intro and shit, man. Look at this.
If you sue me, the most you can get from me is I have a couple like Ninja Turtle action figures still in the box. Got a couple Power Ranger figures still in the box, and I got the 25th anniversary Pokemon collection complete. Like that's about like I don't have much. You're not gonna sue me for much,
right?
Yeah, still gonna have the recognition of ripping off whatever you had or using whatever you had, the music and stuff.
Right. Well, in Rasslin Rage is an LLC, so you can't take my personal assets, huh? All right. I know something, little something. So wrestling, been working on yourself, doing, obviously spending time with those kids, man. And I got kids. We know each other, man. I got kids, man. And really, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
It really is. Lincoln's testing for his yellow belt next week.
Oh yeah, no shit, huh? He's still training, eh?
He signed back up and got back into it this year. So he's doing the rec center.
Okay.
So he's testing for his yellow belt next week.
Okay, so that would be Master Taylor then, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That I used to teach that program. I don't teach it anymore, but I got a job, man, and I work a lot. I'm on 6-7 days now, dude, and it sucks, but it is what it is. I get money. But I'm making good money. I'm not gonna tell everybody how much I make, but I make decent money. You know what I mean?
Bro, people be surprised. Like, you get a job, man. Like, it's so, if you go to the right places, like the money I make for stocking shelves is ridiculous, bro. It's like, Jesus, like why would I leave? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's more so why I am with the way I am with wrestling right now. It's like wrestling can be a very financial, like you can make a lot of money off of wrestling.
Yeah.
If you do it right, if you're working hard enough at it, type thing. But at the same time, like you were saying earlier, you could be wrestling and losing out on a lot of money, type thing, and more so just wrestling. So like I'm to that point now where it's like I need to have that security. I need to, especially after last year. You know what I'm saying? I stayed in my car for predominantly half the year and everything like that. I can't do that again. So like that savings and stuff like that, like that stuff. It's something to look forward to. It's something to know that, like, if like I was to get hurt, like I have some money saved up.
Yeah.
Like I've never, I wasn't able to say that for the longest time. But
right. Well, we all gotta grow up sometimes, right, man?
Bro, yeah, I was Peter Pan for a long time, and now I'm like Robert Williams Peter Pan.
What a great what would you call that, analogy? That's awesome.
That's how I've been looking at the match with Adam. It's kind of like I'm Peter Pan coming back into Neverland. And Adam's like a young Rufio. He's got to teach me how to crow again, and he's gonna have some fun, bro.
That's great, dude. So we know you got Adam. We know we've talked about Tommy Vendetta, but you've wrestled Alex and BRD and MM3 and Blake and all those. But is there, besides Tommy, we know he's on your bucket list. Is there anybody else out there you want to face?
Oh yeah, Logan.
Oh
Drag
shit.
King. Never got to wrestle him, so I definitely want to get that under my belt. Oh man, there's a couple guys. Shoot.
That's what happens when we put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's a couple guys like fresh out of the House of Truth that I've been able to see. I'm just not as familiar with. I'd have to like. A lot of gold guys, a lot of guys wearing black and gold. So like it instantly gets mixed up. There's a lot of people out there. I'll say it like that.
Okay.
Just so I don't forget nobody. But I know Tommy and the Dread King are like top priority if I can get them.
Yeah. Well, and did you know Tommy went against DBA twice, and they used a staple gun both times?
Yeah. No, I watch it, bro. Like it's. Which one? DBA was one of the. It wasn't a death match, but shoot, I wrestled DBA in a Porta Potty match back in the Troy Days Festival in 2016, I think it was 2016 or 2017. And that worst part was that was my second match of that show. It was a 3-show day, and I had 2 matches that show. And like I did the first match, and I literally was getting undressed, and DBA walked up and goes, "Hey man, I got you." And then just walked away. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? And they were like, oh, yeah, you guys are wrestling. I'm like, what? You mean we're wrestling? I just wrestled. Like, yeah, you got them in a Porta Potty match. And I thought they were joking. They were not joking, dude. It was a little loser. You lost by getting thrown in a Porta Potty. So you already know who lost. And it was something different, dude.
Yeah. DVA wins everything.
You gave me a DVD on the ground, bro. It was crazy. Well,
everybody, I want to remind you that down in the description that you can find Mark Ross's Facebook page. Make sure you click that link, go over there, like the page. That way you can stay up to date on all the things that are going on with Mark Ross. That is the only social media that they have right now, and don't message the page and think you're going to talk to him, because he already said
it's ran by admins.
Yeah, there are other people that take care of it, so don't y'all worry. If you want to talk to him, then
you can message the page, like, you know what I'm saying. If it's cool, if you're somebody that, like, you know what I'm saying, I personally do know, and like we rock with each other. You just don't have my number or something like that. Just let them know, and like they will either give you my number or give me a way of contacting you type thing.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like, if you message "Hey sexy," you're not talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let you know, you just called my admin sexy. Like, but it's one of those kind of deals.
Right.
There will be a Twitter soon.
Okay.
Most likely there'll be an Instagram after we start on the 4th type thing.
Okay.
Like, all that stuff will get popped up, but even those will be ran by admins.
Right.
So
check that out, and then obviously when the Twitter comes and then the Instagram comes, I'm sure they'll post all that stuff on the Facebook page so that you can follow them over there and do whatever they do over there on the tweets and the twits and all them things. I don't know. Twitter's a whole new world to me, man. It just
yeah, bro. I'm afraid of cancel culture. That's why I stay away from there. Like, can't express my opinion. Get canceled.
Yeah, you got that right. Well, I'm on my second Facebook 30-day ban, because I said that people that walk around having phone conversations on speakerphone in public places should be smacked in the mouth.
Yeah, man, you got to keep your opinion to yourself. Don't nobody care, Cody. We don't want to hear it.
Right. That's inciting violence, according to Facebook. So
is that what it is?
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's violence. I'm a violent person, apparently. But, hey, whatever.
It's what they censor and what they don't censor. But yeah, I don't want to get into what they don't censor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we could be here for days. But again, everybody. Also, down in the description is all of Rasslin Rage and MI Dub's Facebook, social media, Instagram, all that stuff, and Podbean. I don't know if you knew this, but not only do we do the video thing now, but I take the video, I download the video, and then I extract the audio from it, and then I upload the audio along with all the information that's down in the description here now, and put that on a podcast hosting site, and then that podcast hosting site distributes it all over to all the podcast platforms. I mean, everywhere, dude. Like, every freaking thing. iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, Amazon. I mean, dude, we are everywhere. It's awesome. But
World Wide Web, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, you will be able to hear this interview on a podcast form very soon. Yesterday, I sat down with Chuck Stein, the dirty white boy. And then tomorrow, another gentleman that is affiliated with FU Wrestling, Jonte Keith.
See? Yeah, dude, that's the guy. See, so Jonte was around when I first started and stuff like that, but he decided to do like a lot of outer state stuff when I first originally was around. Mm-hmm. But like, I know he's been making a push for himself. That's the guy. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm probably gonna have a conversation with him at Fourth. I'm probably gonna see what he's up to.
Yeah, well, he's in Wrestling with a Vet this year, and he's also the FU heavyweight champion. He'll be
that 24 karat gold champion.
Yeah, he's going to be taking on the BBW champion, which is Jason's organization. It's out of state somewhere. I don't know the name of it, but they're his champion are going to be bucking heads. So I'm sure it's a non-title match, but still it'll be interesting to watch Jonte take on another champion from another promotion. Definitely going to be a good one. Yeah, I believe Jonte's vet in Wrestling with a Vet is Dre Jacobs, if I'm not mistaken.
Not a bad guy to have.
No, not at all. And then Adam Wick is now a vet in Wrestling with a Vet after winning with Alex as his vet the year before. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, so Alex won one?
Yeah, but as a vet.
I basically won it as a second year vet, or that in between rookie vet stage.
Yeah. So for sure. Yeah, that was last year they won, him and Adam. Because it was going really good, really good, really good. Then COVID came. And then it shut down, and there was no wrestling with a vet. And then when we were able to get back into the Hot Rocks, they had, what do you call the stipulations on how many people could be in the facility. So they had to do 2 shows, an early show and a late show, right? Or an event, I should say. So then you had the semifinal and the final in the same day. And it was done.
Nice.
Yeah. But good stuff, man. It was a great one. It was a good season. And then we start the next one, and then the Hot Rocks gets destroyed. The fuck?
Yeah.
So now
DBA will figure it out.
Oh, he has. He's got a new venue. I'm just not sure exactly when they're going to start up wrestling with a vet. I know they're doing the Best of Detroit first, and then they have a couple other events planned and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good time, man. XICW's on fire, dude. I can't wait. Can't wait. They were doing a tour too. Did you see that? They were doing they went up to Standish, did a couple shows in Standish. Dude, oh man, those were some great shows, man. Going up there, and they got at this bar. Oh, dude, they got the Hot Wing Challenge. I didn't do the Hot Wing Challenge, but it's a good spot. But I don't think they're going back up there. I don't think they had a disagreement with somebody up there. So, but again, they're Detroit, man. That's where it's at. They're going back to Detroit. Mark, dude, thanks so much for joining me, man. Thanks for coming back.
Brother.
You know, obviously Josh and I and Dan are going to be there at FU to support you. And, you know, it's so hard nowadays because for me, I don't, because I'm a fan.
But you got a bunch of favorites. No, I get it, man.
Yeah,
you ain't even got to explain it. You ain't even got to explain it, Doug.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of favorites, Doug.
Yeah. I just want to be like I always talk about it. There's the special that was on the network, and it was Edge's special that they did, Beyond the Edge or some shit like that. I can't remember, but anyways, and he's talking about growing up in Toronto and him and Christian, and they're in Toronto, and I think it's the Superdome or whatever it is out there in Toronto, and WWE or whatever, and they got bags of T-shirts, right? And whenever the guy come out, whoever it was, they'd put that T-shirt on, and yeah. And then the other guy'd come out, they take that off, put the other one on. Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. I really do. I feel
part of the business.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got a lot of T-shirts. Trust me on that. Matter of fact, you know how many T-shirts I have? 3 of your T-shirts, if I'm not mistaken. I have I think I have the very first, what was it, the Sweatsational? I got that one. I got the Sweatsational. I got the Cyrus sateen homemade T-shirt. That was the night that you defeated Alex for the Rising Star title. I remember that. That's got your handprint on it. And then I have the one that was made while you were down in Florida, the Aqua Bro run.
Aqua Bro one, yeah. Zach Monroe did a good job on that one.
Yeah, that was.
Still got a couple of those.
Yeah, those are really nice T-shirts. I really enjoyed those.
Anybody wants? So they still got a couple of those. I'd toss them off for like $5 at this point in time. But
there you go. See, you want a T-shirt?
Sitting in a box.
You want a T-shirt? Limited edition.
I probably will be getting those Mr. 401ks done really, really soon.
Good.
I might even throw up like an order sheet or something like that on Facebook, and then if you put your order in, we'll make sure you get one.
There you go. I know Josh and I will buy one. So absolutely, Mr. 401k. I like it, dude. That's great.
Gotta save up, Doug.
Right.
Save up.
Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up, and then I'll see you back here tomorrow with Jonte Keith at 7 o'clock, right back here on the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel, r2youtube.com. That's the letter R, the number 2, youtube.com. Thank you to all of our sponsors, the Spyder, F5 Wrestling, Justin Dream, Joe Broni, Davison Sarai, and PKSA Port Huron Karate. Right? Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Make sure you do all those wonderful things. Mark, thank you again, sir.
Yes, brother. I'll see you on the 4th.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Later, everybody.
This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage.